But let's pull up CRWV because that's CoreWeave. And let's look at it on the 5-minute. So let's see. Where did Alex call that out yesterday? Yesterday would have been the 9th. Look at that. So at 8:30 in the morning, got this call signal here. And then again at 1:40. Look at that. And CoreWeave rallied.
We talking about CoreWeave?
Yes, we are. I'm glad you hopped in. Look at this amazing trade right here, Alex. I love this, man.
Did you trade it?
I did not. I missed it, but I'm happy everyone else made money on it because look at that.
Dude, it was crazy.
That's awesome, Alex. That's such a great alert.
Yeah.
Like,
it was one of the best.
What was it? 2.2 to 12?
12.95, yeah.
Woo!
Well, 500% winner overnight.
Just a little 500% winner, nothing special.
I think some people who missed my trade alert and went all the way up to 16.95, so they probably got
holy cow,
another 100 percent.
Absolutely, they did. But yeah, I saw that one and I was like, I gotta look at this. And the wave indicator caught it. Look at that.
Well, it was the unusual options flow actually, but that's what's a
good. Oh, really?
Yeah, but you can see how the the wave indicates, when you stack, if you do get the options flows coming in and then you stack some of the another confirmation signal on, it can really help.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a good one.
Yep, that's what
this morning.
We'd call that a banger.
Yeah, I saw it. It took a little while to get there. It was kind of rocky after we opened it, but after the market closed, I saw some flows coming in. Even after it was kind of selling off, I still saw some flows coming in. That's why I decided to stay in on it. And after market closed, I saw that it popped up from like 100 to 105, like instantaneously. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a good one.
This is going to be a good one.
I logged on this morning and I saw like pre-market, it was up to 115. I was like, oh, buddy.
Yep. Hopefully you were like, hopefully we hold, crossing your fingers, hold up here. And it did. Yeah. PPI kind of drove it up, everything really. So
yeah, man, Oracle's huge jump.
Yeah, I was wondering if you all hit Oracle on that.
Holy smokes. 34% gain.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me in my masterclass I just did that Larry Ellison is basically par on par with Elon in terms of net worth now overnight, which is insane.
That is insane.
It's the hairline, dude. Never bet against a man that age with a good hairline.
Are you crossing your fingers, Alex?
Crossing them, man.
Oh, that's funny.
You got a good hairline, Jeff.
He does.
Yeah, for 60's not bad.
Well, here, I'll let you take the screen back here. I'll hop off my soapbox for you.
Yeah, a good soapbox to be on, though.
No, it definitely was. It's a good one.
Yeah, we did one of our services just sent out this trade on Palantir. Nice little consolidation zone. Now it's breaking out. All eyes. Again, I think, man. Well, I know I wasn't on yesterday, but just a lot of. What are the odds? What's the Fed wall? How much of the odds increase to a 50 basis point cut after that jobs report?
Oh, here I can show you that.
Yeah, pull it up. See what it says on Polymarket or something.
Here,
because Kalshi's saying they didn't really move at all. I'm kind of showing the same odds as it's been.
Looked at it since PPI. I was looking at it last night. There we go. There's a screen here.
It's jumped to 15%, I think. That's an increase to 50 basis points.
Well,
oh yeah, you're right.
The 50 went up from 8.1 to 9.9, but also the quarter point went from 88 to 90. So we've actually came down from 92%. So it's actually gone up a little bit on the half.
Yeah, I'm looking on Polymarket, but yeah, I mean basically the same move, just different, increments. But uh, so pretty bad. I mean, basically 1.5 million jobs invented, um, in the waning days of the Biden presidency and the early days of the Trump presidency. So rockier financial footing, economic footing than we thought we were on. You know, rate cuts are guaranteed in my estimation on next Wednesday. And you know, 50, they're not going to cut 50. No, I don't
No,
think
I
50.
don't think so.
But honestly, it could be warranted. I don't know. It feels like if the labor market is that bad, basically no new jobs have been at it for like 2 years. Um,
Yeah, I mean what was that? 991,000 or something like that. They revised it.
yeah, well, yeah, it was, yeah, it's, I mean, 900,000, what, 1.5 million jobs are basically created out of thin air
Right.
that didn't exist.
Yep.
Uh, what was the 900,000 number specifically? Nine.
That's the one that they revised the
Right.
March to March numbers on.
Right. US added 911,000 fewer jobs than previously thought,
Right. That one.
Correct.
which is, I mean, there's messing up numbers, but there's messing up numbers.
Well,
Yeah,
and
it's
I think
bad.
that's one reason Trump got rid of the BLS person was because they were calculating the numbers or doing something, they were cooking the numbers or whatever it was, which we knew that during the
Yeah.
past 2 or 3 years that they were cooking the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just no way that they were creating that many jobs. I mean, that was ridiculous, but we
Yeah.
didn't realize how much they were cooking.
Yeah. And anecdotally, I mean, you can just walk around and you can tell your local towns, like, yeah, I don't think those numbers are right.
Right.
I mean, it's not, it was obviously fake. And now, you never can trust government numbers, but hopefully these are more trustworthy.
Yeah.
I think anecdotally these line up with probably what most people feel like and sense.
Agreed.
But uh yeah.
Just blows my mind that the government can do that, Like they can just report false jobs data and then revise them later.
Yeah,
But they
I
do
don't
it with
I don't know.
everything. I mean, you
They do
think
it with
about this.
everything. They revise
I,
it all.
well, you think about GDP, right? So they're looking at a whole quarter of GDP. And so when you finish the quarter, let's just look at Q2. You go from, basically April, May, and June, right? So in July, they give you GDP, which is for that second quarter. So that number right there sets the boundary of this is our best guess after, calculating GDP for a month. But then in August, they do a revision of that number. In September, they do a revision. And then when you get the new GDP number for Q3, they give you final GDP for Q2. So you really don't know what GDP is until it's 3 months after the quarter. So when they come out and they say, well, we had negative GDP, well, after the revisions, you might be positive all of a sudden. So that's why it takes so long for them to figure out, hey, we're officially in a recession or not. And that's what you run into. And so a lot of times we'll be coming out of a recession when they finally say, hey, we were in a recession. And I've seen that for decades that they've done crap like that. And it just drives me nuts. I mean, I just like, surely, I mean, we are in the age of computer and computer chips.
Yeah.
Can they not do this faster? I mean, and more accurate? I mean, maybe not. I mean, are they still just mailing out surveys saying, we'll fill this out and we'll use that for our data? I don't
I,
know how they're doing it. I have no idea.
I just saw I messed up a trade alert. It is Palantir, folks, not LMT. I'm just gonna send out a notification to that. I don't realize why not wait? Like, what are they doing on the revision side? Like, just wait a couple more days and get it right the first time, you know?
Right. And that's what they do. They sit there and go, well, this is what we got right now. And you're just like, okay. And what kills me is, here, let me show you this one. Link. Let's see, where's there it is. What kills me is this is the Atlanta Fed, and they calculate GDP on a live basis. Every time a big news announcement comes out, we had PPI this morning, so that's why it says September 10th right next to this. So they've got GDP right now at 3.1%. They do everything from news event to a news event. Why can't the BLS do that? I mean, I mean, why not? I mean,
Who
how
knows?
hard is that? I mean, if
I
they can do
think
it,
I think it's I think it's intentional. That's the only solution I can really think of. Is just that it's I mean it can't be that incompetent to me.
right?
I don't know.
So, but yeah, I look at this after every news event. Of course, it takes them a couple hours to wake up and put it in there. But um, but yeah, I mean, right now this thing's kind of trending up a little bit. So if they're looking for negative GDP, they're right now they're not getting it.
So if on one hand, it's a very strange day today. Obviously Oracle's popping. We had CoreWeave popping, Nvidia's popping. But to if we go over to SPX, it's not looking so hot, right? Everybody can see SPX there.
Oh, there you go.
Um,
I was just pulling it up.
it's I mean, big gap up, today, but a sell off. The Qs are also selling off, actually worse than SPX. Um,
Look what the diamond did. Diamond kind of got hammered a little bit today.
what's that? Which
The
one?
diamond, DIA.
Oh, yeah, Dow Jones.
Yeah, it's been getting beat up a little more than the Nasdaq and the S&P.
Yeah, so very just like again, this range. I mean, I guess we did break out on SPX. I guess we have broken out of the range finally, but not really. I mean, we're retracing right back down to like
You're
basically
right.
all-time highs. We just do not want to get out of this. Vodine's calling the boomer index,
The
Yeah.
boomer decks.
the boomer dex. um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like rate cuts should be at least going up. I was looking at some data, and it does seem that when the Fed has, for most of like the last 25 years, when the Fed cuts in, basically through the dot-com bubble and the crash and the '08 crash, when the Fed cuts into a flagging economic environment, stocks tend to sell off. I will be curious to see if that's what happens. This time.
Well, I mean, I'll agree with that comment just because this market, and I don't know how old or new you want to call this thing, but basically since '08, let's just put it that way. This market has been going up and up and up and up and up, but it's also been fed off of zero to no interest rates, right?
Right.
I mean, you've got 30-year rates at 3 and 3 1/4. You had 15s, I mean, down at 2. And so the market is loves that. Well, all of a sudden, when they start raising rates a couple years ago, well, they didn't like that a whole lot. So now they're going up on, well, maybe they'll cut rates now and get us back down and help all the housing market or whatever they want to help there. But
Be nice.
whatever. But I don't think they're going to get rates back down to where no, they're not going to get 3-4% again. I don't think they might get 5.5.
Yeah.
If they got that low, everybody and their monkey's uncle would refinance. Like it would be crazy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
no,
because everybody's got 8 and 7.5 and 8%. If you get down to 5.5, everybody will refinance.
Absolutely. I mean,
Mortgage
I'm
companies will go berserk.
yeah. Like I've got a 6.2 right now, and I feel like that's pretty good.
yeah. It's I mean, it's not going down to 2%. I don't know what the price sensitivity is for people. I'd say low fives. I think the real estate market probably starts opening up. I think that's what would cause people to probably, start feeling it again,
Yeah.
changing. getting out of their house they want to get out of that's too small for their 4 kids now that they bought, that they're trapped in.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
think that's correct. I do think they feel kind of trapped where they are, in a way, just like you were saying, in the past couple of years, you added another kid or two, and now
yeah,
you gotta expand a little bit. You can't have them all in one room.
right. Yeah, so bonds are selling off. I mean, pretty dramatic sell off in the bonds today. I don't know. I mean, this. If you take like last week to basically today, the last week has been pretty dramatic. I don't know. I mean, PPI. The thing is PPI was PPI one of them fell today, and then one of them was basically just the same. I forget which one. Let me pull up.
That was what
Watch.
was it?
Today, producer price index fell, and core PPI was the same. So yeah, producer price index is just basically CPI, and then core PPI is basically core CPI on the producer side. And the idea is that these things would get trickled down to consumers, but if it's whatever, they can whatever incremental. I don't even know how they measure this, man. Just judging by the labor report, it's like, do they really know this stuff? Like,
Well, the PPI is what I mean. Basically, is what producers. I mean, what I don't know. General Mills is paying for oats, kind of stuff.
right.
And all that gets poured in there, and that's basically the wholesale, what they're buying wholesale out, which grains have come down quite a bit. Um, and crude oil's actually come down. I mean, crude's down 10% on the year. So that all has come down somewhat. So their prices probably have come down. Now, beef prices are way up. But outside of that, I mean, that's what's going into there. When we get to CPI, it's what we pay for at the retail store. So that takes all into account all the transportation and whatever else. I doubt they put the tax in there. Who knows? But of course, if your tax rate went up on your groceries, then I don't know if that goes into CPI or not. Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, we have those numbers coming out tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see. Previous was 2.7, forecasting it to rise. Core though is going to stay the same. Take out, I don't know. We'll see. I have a feeling it's going to be. I just think that whether or not the markets sell off into rate cuts or after rate cuts, rather, I do think they're going to. I have a sense, and that I think we're going to rise into rate cuts. We're going to eke out a little bit, but I will say personally, no trades I am taking are farther out than Wednesday. I'm not going to stay in anything. Yeah, maybe I'll lose some potential money if we do just, you know, that afternoon rally hard into the close, but I'm okay with that. I'm just going to end the trade and get out by Wednesday, just to make sure that I'm not caught on the wrong side of anything, because I don't know what's going to happen with this. I mean, I do think we're going to get a rate cut. I mean, guaranteed at this point to get a rate cut. Man, it would be a real spanner in the works if he's like, no rate cuts. That would be that would
I
be
mean, the
wild.
market would sell off hard if they
Yeah,
didn't cut it. I mean,
yeah.
it would get smacked really hard if they didn't cut rates.
I mean, we're at
So,
a 90. I mean, we're basically at a 98% chance of some cut though
yeah.
on poly market. So take that what you will. I mean, three, and then following on, we're gonna probably have 3 rate cuts, one in October again, and then after October, the next meeting. Do you know when the next meeting is after October?
It
Is it
is, let's see here. Pretty sure it's in October, but it's October the 29th. October
okay?
29th.
October 29th, and then is there a third opportunity for a cut this year, or is that
Yeah,
that's
then they have one in December also.
in December?
Yeah,
Okay,
they have a December meeting also. There's 3 more meetings as we sit here right now.
okay,
So we got one next week, one at the end of October, then one at the beginning of December, and that's it. The I think the big thing that they're going to be hanging on next week is, okay, they expect the quarter point rate cut. So you have a one of two surprises. He cuts a half or he doesn't cut at all, right? There's your surprise.
Yeah.
The number two is he's got that stupid press conference 30 minutes later that he gets out there and sticks his foot in his mouth most of the time, and he, blabs and blabs and blabs, and the market reacts based off of that also. So
The Bodine's saying he's going to come out in orange face paint, looking like Trump. No rate cut. Yeah, that would be pretty hilarious, man.
Halloween early, right?
Yeah. Bodine's funny, man. He's always cracking jokes.
Uh,
Yeah, this is yeah. Uh you know, what was it, the purple tie? People like looking at it, he's wearing a purple tie, he's cutting. He's wearing a blue tie, he's not, or something like that. I remember that.
oh yeah. Yeah, they used to do that with Greenspan. He's holding his briefcase in his right hand this time instead of his briefcase in his left hand. And I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, that doesn't mean anything. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I they cut, and then what they do is say what? Well, the jobs numbers look poor, CPI, PPI is down, so we think this is warranted, and we'll see what happens the next time around. I mean, if they do cut, I would give it a 50-50 chance that we cut again in October. Now, they might skip that one and then go to December and do a cut just in case, but I don't know. I think it all depends on what the jobs do and everything like that over the next several months.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's if the jobs report really is that bad, you know, I know we're talking some like higher level stuff, but it is interesting sort of get a bead on the markets, ladies and gentlemen, just because higher level, it's like if the job markets is as bad, is the job market is as bad as what the BLS revision just printed. I mean, we've been in a, I don't, is it a recession? Is this count as a recession? I'm not, the unemployment rate is, I was looking, this is blew my mind. I don't know if it's true or not. I was from a fairly veritable account on X, but 10% now, if you look at those numbers. So unemployment at 10%, basically no new jobs have been created. For what, 2 years? That's seems at least like a Main Street recession. I'm not sure if it meets the actual qualifications, but
Well, I mean, I've always had to scratch my head on that. I mean, you think about this. You If your unemployment is 10%, okay, that means 90% employed. Is that bad?
right,
I asked
right.
that question, is having 90% employed bad? I mean, they're always touting, hey, we're at our 4.3% unemployment rate. Well, okay, so that's what, 95.7% employed? That's pretty incredible. I mean, that means almost everybody's employed. And then you look
Yeah.
at the job openings, the JOLTS numbers, and they got 700,000 jobs open. That's what they say. Now, I don't ever look into that report. I don't know if it's all at McDonald's and Wendy's or if it's at, GM and IBM. I have no idea. But they have these job openings. So, okay, so there are 700,000 jobs to be filled, and we have an unemployment rate of 4.3%. So, I mean, we could get down to 2% if they fill all those things. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how all that works. I don't know how they get their numbers to say this is how many job openings there are. I mean, are they real job openings? I mean, sometimes companies just, throw it out there just to, see who bites. So.
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, Jack talks about this a lot, and I agree with him. It's like these numbers are just all fake. I mean, you just don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Like they're just, it's so fake. This we proved that it was fake with this latest thing, but I mean, if you do a first principles, like if you think those previous numbers are fake, don't rush headlong into believing the most recent numbers or any of the numbers. Eh, I do think there's some ill intent, malicious intent. I also do think that it's just incredibly hard. I mean, we're a continental country with 350 plus million people. It's a lot of data. It's a lot of things to try and, sum up, with a survey. So, um, yeah, just who knows?
Right.
I think we're in a who knows market. Right? I keep on thinking about this. I mean, we talked about that. What's the demand? We're in a supply zone. If this for this supply zone where we're at to turn into a demand zone, what does that take? Um, the only thing I can foresee is uh is interest rate cuts turning into a blow off top here, that turns this where we are, which is a supply zone, right? This means that there is not a lot of demand at this price level. That's why we've been crunching through, and just really hard to break over. I mean, I know that it looks like it does on the chart. We are above this, but we are above this initial support and resistance, but it's having a hard time. We get over it, we break down, we get over it. Now we're right back kind of where we were. What turns it in, at least, for temporarily, maybe for the rest of the year, interest rate cuts, especially if he cuts 50 basis points, I mean, that's going to cause, that's the only thing I could see. That could be a major catalyst for some blow off top for these next 3 months. But man, so hard to tell.
It is for a fact.
Finally, though, we do have some correlation with RSP, SPY, SPX, and QQQ. Everything's finally selling off today. At least they're moving in the same direction again.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think really, I mean, with everything going on, and I mean, not just us kind of kicking back and looking and saying, okay, what can this market do? I mean, if you're the CEO, CFO of these companies, my guess they're doing the exact same thing. They're sitting there trying to figure out, okay, so I mean, the only way a company stays in business is if people buy stuff. And there's some stuff you have to buy, don't get me wrong, consumer staples, right? But are people still going to be, buying all this other stuff? And so do they continue to do well? And you start seeing earnings, not meeting expectations, then that might be telling you right there. And that, the PCE, the consumer, I always call it they call it, expenditures and consumptions, but it's just basically if you're buying stuff or you're saving money, whichever it may be. Um, I wonder if things are slowing down somewhat. And I would think that, things are slowing down and people don't have, I don't know, the confidence to go out and just buy a brand new car or buy a brand new house right now, taking on that debt, not knowing what the future is going to be. And by now you would think we'd have a whole bunch of trade deals and stuff like that. But you look at even, the farmers right now. Farmers are getting crushed right now, and there's really no help out for them at this point in time. But their cost to produce far outweighs the price that they can get for their crop. And you might squeak by break even, but no, you're not making money at being a farmer. And there's a lot of people out there about to go bankrupt as far as farms. And they're going to have to do something to get, you know, input prices down, fertilizers and all that good stuff. The weed killers and the fertilizers and all that good stuff, they're going to have to find some way to get it down. And the thing is these stupid farm bills they put out there, it always goes to some place and it literally hardly ever trickles down to the actual farmer itself. So they get screwed regardless of what happens. And they're complaining about it. All of a sudden, there's a huge wave of complaints right now. And if that's no indicative of the rest of the United States, we might be slowing down. I don't know.
are there phosphate futures?
Phosphate?
Yeah.
No, not phosphate.
What fertilizer? What's fertilizer? What are they in?
Oh man, I'd have to go dig that up. Let's see here.
Sure.
Where's my
While Jeff's researching that, I just want to say, So we, if you notice today we were a little slow. After that 500% gain, we, I'm not going to try and overtrade. Let's just like take the money and enjoy it. But uh, potash, maybe that's what it is. You're right. I think maybe Mark's potash.
Potash? Yeah.
Potash, how you say it?
Yeah,
Potash.
potash.
Potash. Core. Look at
Yep.
all these calls flowing into CoreWeave still. So we could actually be seeing another move on CoreWeave tomorrow. And we didn't do this because like these have been coming in all day. But look at this stuff, man.
They have urea futures.
Urea.
Yes, urea.
Oh wow. Damn. That should help the fertilizer prices. Do you ever trade this at all?
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not real thinly traded. I mean, it's thinly traded. Where are we on now? There's U5,
Yeah.
U5.
Yeah, we're all urea traders voting.
That's FOB UF Gulf. There you go. Let's go and see what happens here. Volume. Wow. Total volume 35 contracts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not much. Damn.
On the option side, you got open interest of 210. So,
Is that a lot? I've only ever traded like futures on MES or
oh no, I mean, yeah, no, that's not much at all. I mean, it's usually like when you look at stocks, it's usually, over, 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever it is. So you look at your big contracts. In fact, what the heck? Let's just go look at the S&P here real quickly, and we'll make a comparison. Here we go. Equities, S&P futures, volume. There you go. Did I go down too far? Where'd my volume go? Volume. Something went wrong. Yeah, I can see that. Refresh.
Bodine's saying CF is the only fertilizer stock he thinks of. I've never looked at CF actually. Have you ever tried out CF?
Yeah. See, on the S&P, your open interest is 1.9 million contracts.
Yeah, okay. So these are tiny stuff.
And so, heck, even on the December futures, they got 32,000 right now. So, of course, they'll roll over on Monday on the S&P. But yeah, a lot of these things you'll have a whole lot bigger.
Nutrien looks like it might be. They're pretty down. Really down, actually. Got a good. Nutrien is what do you know what Nutrien is? The fertilizer stock? I guess like what, urea, potash. I always thought it was potash. Potash.
Well, it's actually potash. What they used to do is they used to take fire ash and they would put it into a pot and they would boil it down and then they would filter it out to make potash. And they also use that to make gunpowder also.
Oh, interesting.
But that's why they called it potash, is because they literally took ashes from fires and put it in a pot and put it in water. And what the water does is it leaches out a lot of the bad stuff. And then you're left with just the granules that is potassium.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that's why they call it potash.
Potassium, nitrogen,
Exactly.
something else, right? There's a third one that you need.
Yeah, phosphorus.
Phosphorus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You,
MLS. Yeah, a lot of these fertilizer companies are actually kind of after a little sell-off might be like a little trend up. MOS. I don't know Mosaic. Yeah, I'm not Mosaic. Yeah, I thought they were more crop, not fertilizer. I think they did have some fertilizer. I remember researching these guys a while ago. I don't see any good options. There's no good options on MOS or NTR. Let's see MOS. Oh, there's a few more options on MOS.
Isn't POT potash?
Yeah, it probably is. I was looking up. No,
No.
no.
What is, there was one. Dang it. I'll find it.
So
PTAM? Huh, I don't know that one.
here you go. MOS's potash volume improves. I wonder what their earnings was, like what the actual. Because I mean, these in NTN or NTR. It's in a good little trend. This isn't a good little trend after selling off. Um, 30-cent options. Let's see.
Mosaic. Let's see. Market cap 11.5 billion. PE price to sales actually is improving. PE is 31.45. Current is 10.9. Alrighty. Fiscal year, blah, 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 blah. Profit margin 8.35%. So IPI is Intrepid Potash.
They're not going to have any options. Might be good for maybe. I mean, Mosaic though is. I mean, Mosaic is. I don't know how many companies actually are at Mosaic's level on the globe. It's one of. I mean, it has to be one of the biggest ones. You know, the only one I've heard of. I've heard of Nutrien, I think, but
Well, I mean,
Mosaic's always.
you got the household one, good old Scott's Miracle Grow, SMG. I mean, I mean,
Oh yeah.
I mean, you have that one, but I don't know how much that goes along with the the fertilizer folks.
Oh, look at this. Actually, there is some MOS flows coming in. There's just one on the app for October 17th. Got a nice little volume squeeze. Uh,
Now, is that on the 35 calls? Okay.
yeah, 35 October 17th calls. So we got got a lot of volume over open interest here on October 17th. I wonder there's also a lot of volume. These are cheaper this week, but we only have 2 more days left on this. Good little pattern though. I mean, if this pops October 17th, it's kind of far out. Let me see. Let me see what the skew is. There's like way less put volume at all on this from October 17th. Let's see on September 19th, though, there is far more little put a little put open interest skew than it's probably. Oh man, I kind of see it. I don't know. I mean, do you know anything about MOS, Jeff? Like, I don't know. I don't follow them at all. I'm kind of just shooting from the hip here if we do take this trade. But it is on the flow, so I don't know. Trust the flow. There's only one though,
I
but this
mean,
is a pretty
I've
good
traded
trend.
CF a lot. I will say that CF Industries. I've never traded MOS myself.
Yeah. Bodine mentioned CF too.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of the same. They honestly they had kind of the same chart. I don't know why their earnings all sucked. I guess it was, I don't know, was it like tariff related or the forward projection was cut or something? But this one's in a trend line as well. Hmm. Let's see. Nothing though on the scanner for C. I don't think there's anything on the scanner for CF. There wasn't any like options volume.
Okay.
Um,
But there was on Mosaic.
there was on Mosaic, yeah. Let's
MOS.
see. So this is what I'm looking at, folks. Let me go ahead, move this over here. Boop. Ah. I hate it when it goes that way. How do I get it to go? Whatever. Yeah, potato stick futures, Bodine. Bodine, what's the potato stick future sticker? Let's see. So this is what I'm looking at over here. All right, so you see this. So this is the contract that's showing up on the scanner. October 17th, $35 calls. You see you got volume, pretty significant some volume inflows here. They're $82. We also have the same little setup. Let's see. Yeah, we also have the same setup happening here on the 12th on Friday expiration. These are way cheaper, and there's way less. Like if you go back and go over here, kind of just the nature of it being farther out. Actually, you know what? There's not as much. There's really not nearly as. There's more put volume, but there's not as much. Well, all right. Well, you know, the scanner's done us right. Oh, look at that. Let me show you this. All right, folks. I think it's been done for us. Look at that. There was one and now there's two. 35. Okay, so we're gonna take, I'm gonna open up the 35 on Mosaic. $35 call, 83 cents. Let's see if we can, sometimes you can get a better fill on it. So let's go, let's try and get 81 to start.
You're 83 by 84 right now.
Yeah, sometimes you can, sometimes because of there's extra, can see people see my chart? Can you see my chart? Am I showing my chart?
Yeah.
Let's see. Try and go 82. Sometimes when there's a lot more volume, you can get a cheaper price. But sometimes not. Let's see if we can just get it at 82. While we're waiting, I'll type this out. 17 MOS 17 October 25 $35 call.
They were the bid.
82. It's coming down. It's coming down. I think I might be able to get filled at 82. 825. Come on, baby. 835. No, don't go that way. We'll let it run for a couple more minutes. Everybody get that if you want to take it, get that ticker lined up and get that options lined up. I'll let you know when I get filled, if I get filled. While we're doing that, we can look at the 3-minute chart to see what we're doing. If there's okay. It's 20. I think we'll be able to get filled. I think we'll be able to get filled at 82. We'll let it run for a few more minutes, or maybe a minute or two, honestly.
82 is the bid.
Yeah. I think it would happen. I want to see check in on gold while we're waiting on this though. because I know you got some stuff to say about gold, but what is this, dude? What is going on today? Look at that. Look at that move down on gold.
Today? I thought that was yesterday.
Now that's today. I mean, it wasn't really a move down much, but look at that long wick.
Is that GLD?
GLD, yeah.
Huh. That's a daily? That's a daily. I don't have that on my chart.
Oh, really?
I think you got a bad tick in there.
I guess so, don't I? Well, no, because it was down
Let
335.
me, you're in Thinker. No, that's Tasty Work, isn't it?
That's it's trading view.
Trading View. Hold on. I got Trading View. Let me see if we get the same thing. Yeah, I don't see that wick.
That's so strange. All right, well, let me just I'm just gonna screen cap this and send it to the Telegram so people can get it real quick. Actually, you want to share your screen, and because I do want to. I mean, I don't know if you would have any. Yeah, I know you have something to talk about with gold. I want to. What are you seeing? Let's see what you're seeing.
So you're on a daily chart, right?
Yeah, I can
Okay.
reload. Maybe I'll just
Yeah,
reload.
let me share my screen here. There we go. But I mean, it's down today, but I don't have that long wick down in here somewhere.
Yeah, I still got it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I thought was really interesting, if you look at gold futures real quick, gee, and this is a daily on that. And I mean, the 200 days way down there on gold, but uh anyway, of course, we've had this big old run up here, but if you'll just kind of look at how gold works, and really for 30, I mean, the 3600 level was the first time, I mean, they hit it here in this green candle, and they had a day afterwards where they pulled it back, and then, of course, they just shot it back up. But a lot of times when they hit a century mark, they'll yank that thing back 100 points or so. Well, we hit 3,700 yesterday, and my thought was, okay, they're going to pull this thing back again. Well, they did. And today they're just kind of hanging out. And I'm just like, well, they're really not dumping it off. But we got the Fed next week. We got CPI, I mean, PPI and CPI, I mean, this week. And I thought, well, I don't know, maybe they'll hang out a little bit. But now that they've hit 3,700, they've backed up. My guess is they take out that 37.15 and they're going to take off again. I bought gold futures back at 36.31 and got out at 37.02. I got out of that yesterday. Had a real nice trade on that. But
What you
anyway, this thing,
what were the pips you got?
I got into the gold futures at 36.31 and I got out at 37.02.
Oh,
And
nice.
so I got to thinking they're going to try to run to 3,700, and they did. They popped it up there, and they kind of pulled back. So now I'm kind of waiting until if they're going to pull back again, and you can kind of see what the waves have been here. Go up and you make a high, you pull back. You make a high, you pull back. Well, now they've made a high again, but they steamed up here. So my thought is they're probably going to try to pull back again. But I don't know if they're going to wait till the Fed day to do that. I don't know what they'll do. Now, they might just turn around, they might go up to 3,800. I don't know. But right now, I'm just kind of in watch and wait mode just to kind of see what happens. And I mean, I've got a trade that I put out each week on gold. And I do it just once a week, and we are actually 100% accurate this year on gold. We are
Dude,
37 for 37
that's
trades.
insane with this run up.
Yeah,
It's insane.
and we've hit every week this whole year, and then 37 weeks, and we've made money 37 weeks. So
Well, I think that's cool because like we're talking about gold, like you're looking at the futures chart, but a lot of people don't trade futures and we don't talk about trading futures like in
right,
specifics.
and I do everything based off of GLD is what I do. And this is GLD and on a daily. And so and that's basically the exact same pattern, except, GLD is going to have these gaps on a daily chart just because, well, it doesn't show you what happens overnight. And and that's the one thing that I think Alex is alluding to. You get to see what gold does all night. Now, one thing that's really cool about Thinkorswim is that you can watch GLD trade throughout the night. And in fact, if you change this over to a 30-minute chart, you can actually see uh, right here. Well, actually, here we go. We can look at right through here. This is actually GLD out of Thinkorswim trading all night long. All these bars right here. And you can kind of see right in here, right around what time was that in the morning? The time. Okay, that right there is 2 a.m. So that's basically an hour before Europe opens and they dumped it off. And I just got filled at 82 cents. So
Ah, dang it. I got filled at, I had to go up to 83, man. Doug got filled at 82 too. Whatever. If it works, 1 cent won't make that much of a difference.
yeah, 1 penny doesn't mean anything. So, but anyway, but yeah, you can kind of see how GLD trades all night. The only bad thing about GLD at night is that from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. you can Eastern time, you can buy, sell, short, go long, whatever GLD. But between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. you can only buy it. Now you can get out of a long position, you can sell it that way, but you can only buy it. So hopefully eventually they'll let you go long or short. Or what'd be even better, they let you do options all night long, right?
That is,
So
yeah.
but anyway, so if you just look at this on a daily side of things, that's why you see these gaps in here, just because you don't see the price of gold throughout the night. And that's the thing that you don't see. That's why you see all these gaps. So I always look at the gold futures to kind of see what it has done because you don't have those gaps and it kind of smooths that out a little bit. But you can kind of just see really, I mean, if you just kind of scrunch this up in here. I mean, they've dipped below the 50-day. In fact, the 50-day. This is a 21-day in blue. This is a 50-day in red. They've dipped below the 50-day a couple of times this year, but for the most part, I mean, they haven't even come close to the 200-day. So I'm just been looking at that going, golly, this thing's just been really, really strong.
Yeah, no, I
And
mean, gold it's outperformed SPY this year, I would think. Has it?
yes,
Yeah.
actually, see, let's look at here. The S&P is up 9.68%. The Dow's up 5.92. The Nasdaq's up 11.9. The Russell's up 5.23. Um, Gold is up 39.3% and silver's up
Dude.
41.7%. So, and even copper's up 14% for the year. So the metals have been really, really strong. And
Dude.
they're still going up, making new all-time highs. But
S-
I mean, I always like for gold to push up, and when it pulls back into this zone in here, that's when I try to scoop it up again. Because they've been doing it, they go up and they pull back, and they go up and they pull back, and they go up and they kind of rode along here, and they finally pulled back, and they went up and pulled back. But I love those pullbacks just because it gives you another opportunity to jump into gold because it's going up. I mean, I don't see our
Yeah.
deficit getting any better anytime soon. So,
No.
so everybody's running into something that has actual value as opposed to air. So,
You don't
but
think
I gotta say
Litecoin
that
you don't
that
think Litecoin has value?
yeah, yeah.
Come on,
Well,
bro.
look, I mean, Bitcoin is just a mathematical calculation is all it is, but heck, it's at 114,000 bucks, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's tradable, don't get me wrong, but it's not something, in my opinion, that I'd want to invest in. I just can't see myself doing it, but I do trade it. Don't get me wrong. I will trade it, but I mean, gold, I've been buying gold and silver for years, just the physical stuff, but I still trade it all the time. But that's the one thing that's really cool about it. And what I'm looking to do is say, hey, gold is no, it's a global asset. It's not just a company or anything like that. It's an absolute global asset. Everybody in the world, you know, central bank wise, huge, you know, banks or even, people in general, they buy gold. And so why not ride the train? And I think we're really kind of getting started on a huge cycle up in gold. And I think it's a great opportunity to really rock and roll on it and have fun just playing with gold. So,
So choo choo. Am I right? How do we get in on this? How do we get in on the train though? Like if you don't want to if you don't want to trade futures, which is fine. But
yeah,
if you do want to do if you like the there is a way. I mean you've been you like you mentioned you've been crushing it. How do people like can trade gold, can get this historic run up, because buy it, trade it actively, whatever, but there's multiple ways to win. I mean this thing is like soaring, and this is, and I've seen this. I really think this is a super sick strategy.
yeah. Well,
What is
here,
it? How do we do it?
let me pull up a little job thing here.